All right, so welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies. Normally we usually have more energy when we do a podcast like this, but we have some tragic news that happened this weekend. So since we're a comic book podcast, and this is like very big news that pretty much shocked the whole world, we're gonna have to address it, and we're gonna talk about Chadwick Boseman. We want to say rest in peace, and we're gonna dedicate a big portion of the show just talking about him, about his legacy, about him as a person, and basically his impact on us. Before we get to it, Eli, anything you want to add to it? Or
yeah, my name is Eli.
That is Eli, my co-host, right?
And you're Leroy, right?
Did I not say my name? Yes, my name is Leroy. I was gonna say something else, but I was like, just in the mood. Here's the thing, Eli.
Yeah, greetings and salutations, all.
Yeah, hopefully everybody's having a good mood out there right now. But honestly, I'm kind of in a different mood than what I normally do when I do this podcast, because just prepping for this show and getting the pictures and doing the research and looking at everything he did and looking at his Howard speech, it kind of just put me in a down mood. Like, oh man, it finally hit me. Because that's the thing. Like, I felt like since it happened Friday, I don't really think I dealt with it, Eli. Like, I know it hit, but it doesn't feel real. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was shocking, and I watched Black Panther yesterday, and then I reread Reggie Hudlin's run I think maybe I processed it a bit and just what he meant to comic book fans and people of color comic book fans, and it's quite the blow. It's quite the loss, especially what that movie Black Panther meant for people of color fans, and just not comic book fans, but to the Black community as a whole. Pushing forward, representation of Black people, futurisms, and just portraying Black people, without being defined by colonialism.
Right.
And
ooh, it's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
All right, let me because I was basically using you to try to like get my thoughts together. That's what I was trying to do, is use you.
Okay.
But mainly the thing is what we want to talk about. First thing, before we go any further with this, we do want to say saying rest in peace Black Panther is disrespectful on several levels. I just want to get that cleared up for one thing right there. For one thing, Black Panther is not dead. Black Panther can't die. Black Panther is an idea. Black Panther is a concept. Black Panther is a legend. Black Panther is a myth. Black Panther is a story. And Black Panther can't die as a story as long as we live. Because just like Black Panther can't be killed, just like Hercules can't be killed, just like any story from the Bible can't be killed, because those stories live with us. As long as we live and those stories live with us, that story will live on. So that's one reason why saying rest in peace Black Panther is disrespectful, because like I said, Black Panther's not dead. Black Panther will live on. And another thing, T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman is more than just Black Panther. He brought more to the table than just playing Black Panther. He brought, like I said, before we go to this, I didn't think it happened, but it shouldn't. Yes, Cam. Yeah, this is.
Let me share the link out.
Yeah, please share the link out. Honestly, this is tough, Eli. This is a tough one right now. But it's other things that he did.
Take your time, dude.
Yeah, it's other things that he did, because
it's all right, man.
I'm sorry.
It's fine, man.
Because he brought so many characters to the role. He played Jackie Robinson. Like I said, he played James Brown. He played Thurgood Marshall. So yes, you can say that Black Panther was not a real person and not a real character. But the thing was, he represented so much more to everybody. Chadwick Boseman, in order to play the role of Black Panther, had to play so many other characters to get to him. He took everything he played from other characters. Like, he played Jackie Robinson. He brought that regalness of Jackie Robinson brought as a person to the role of Black Panther. Same thing with James Brown. James Brown, the rhythm, the coolness, everything from James Brown, he brought that role to Black Panther. Thurgood Marshall, everything he learned from playing these iconic black men and learning how to walk in their shoes, he brought that to playing T'Challa. And that's why it meant so much to everybody when he played the role. Man, it's so that's why it's so important for people, because the thing about representation, you don't know if you want it until you have it. We talk about comic books all day long. We talk about Batman, Superman. None of these characters look like us. They don't look like you, Eli. They don't look like me. And whenever we do get somebody, not knocking, War Machine, not knocking Falcon, anybody like that. But when you see somebody that's on the same level as these characters and it represents something, like you see Wakanda, you see what you could be. You see that your limit, it has no potential to it. Yeah. Your potential has no limit. You can just do whatever you want. We've seen, just the same feeling like when you saw Obama get elected. Yes, Obama is a real person, but you can see that there's no limit to what you can do. You can be an awesome scientist like Shuri. You can be this awesome warrior. You can be this, politician. You can be this warrior. You can be this king. You can be anything. And it lets these little kids know that they don't have to be, bad guys or villains or sidekicks to make the other heroes look better. It lets them know that they can be at that level too. They can be whatever they want to be. That's what make this so hard. I'm not even saying it's hard, because he was able to bring this role to life. And people saying that, he was like the best person to play the role. I'm saying he was the only person to play the role. When they cast this in 2013, 2014, 2015, however you want to say it, there was not a short list. There was only one list, because Chadwick Boseman had to walk in the shoes of all these other legends in order to even get to that level. And before he could get there, nobody else could just jump in and just play this role of Black Panther. It's not just playing like any other black superhero. You have to have all those attributes that he has, that it wasn't just something he just clicked on and turned on screen. He carried it with him everywhere he went. When he went to, anytime you saw him talking in press conferences, anytime you see him go to children's hospitals, anytime you saw him just go anywhere, he brought that regalness and brought that, energy of Black Panther with him everywhere he went. So it just brought, a special feeling about you whenever you see it. Like I said, I saw Black Panther about 3-4 times at a movie theater. It was a special moment for me, because like I said, you don't know you have representation until you see representation. I've been following this even before. So just the fact that I'm able to see that in real life, and he was able to bring that to life, that's the thing. And to see that he had so much more work left to do. It's just weird that all he had was his acting ability, and he was able to change culture, the way we see culture and the way we see race, just from his acting ability. And that's what he was able to do with this. That's just a special moment. And what's so crazy about it, that the day he died was also the same day that Jack Kirby was born. Jack Kirby, co-creator of Black Panther. It was also, like I said, we said he played Jackie Robinson. It was also the day of Jackie Robinson's birthday. Jackie Robinson Day for MLB. Yeah. They normally have it in April because of COVID. They had to push it back. So
yeah, and that's how I found out. I was watching a baseball game, and all the players were wearing 42. And I had just ordered a pizza. I was like clearing off the table, and I had the game going on. And then they announced him passing, and I was like in total shock. I was like, "What the hell?"
Right.
And I hadn't been on my phone in a couple hours, and I just ran and grabbed my phone and jumped on Facebook. And the first thing I saw, the first thing on my timeline was your post.
Yeah, because somebody had told me about it, and I was like in complete utter shock about it.
And I messaged you right away, like, "What the fuck, man?"
Right, because around the time my phone was like blowing up at the time, everybody was telling me what was going on, and I didn't even want to believe it at the time, but yes, this happened. It's insane, but because he had so many other roles he was going to do. Like I said, he had so many iconic roles he was playing, just like that role he was going to play with the Black Samurai. I think the guy's name was Yusuke. Real life, like I said, a real life legend. He was a black man that went to Japan and had long dreads and like that. And he was going to be a samurai. That would have been interesting to see come to life. Also, he bring that same energy that he brought with every other character he did to this. So, and the crazy thing about it is that, like I said, he died of colon cancer. He didn't get diagnosed until 2016, which he That's when he got the Marvel deal. So between 2016, look at everything he did. Like I said, he played Black Panther 4 times, played in a Spike Lee movie, did his own starring vehicle with 21 Bridges, and he played Thurgood Marshall after all that was going on also. So he did all this within like a four-year span. It's like he has like a limited time he can do this, and he made every minute count. He gave us everything he could.
Yeah.
Knowing the clock is ticking.
He was stage 3 cancer when he was diagnosed.
Right.
So that means in colon cancer, like my mom, my dad, I've got experience with cancer. My baby mama worked at a cancer clinic, so I'm a little familiar with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Stage 3 colon cancer is very slow moving. If you're going to get cancer, that's kind of the one you kind of want to get. Not that you want to get cancer, but
right.
Colon cancer is slow, very slow moving. He had stage 3 when he was diagnosed, which means he had to have it for years before he even knew.
And didn't know, right.
And didn't know. So it's scary. And how young he was, it's scary and shocking and just puts things in perspective. Is like we talk about, you're talking about the great life that he led and all this great work he put in, but it was going back to Black Panther. It was the idea of what that character meant to people and why it was such a big phenomenon. And me being a Native American comic book fan, I have to live vicariously through the Black community and
right.
And watching Black Panther yesterday, and the scene where he gets, where he challenges M'Baku, and just seeing those rituals and ceremonies and seeing, that being celebrated, this is where I feel sad for American Black people, because me as a Native American, we have our languages and our ceremonies and our traditions, but American Black people, they were ripped away from all that. They don't know their original languages or their ceremonies.
Don't know our tribe or where we came from, anything like that. They don't even know what country we came from.
Yeah, they don't know their tribal ways. And I feel bad, but here's Black Panther showing, even though it's made up, it's showing, it's giving the Black community a glimpse of that, a glimpse of what could have been,
Right.
And American Black people still created their own traditions and culture. They created blues and jazz and rock and roll and hip hop,
Right. And that's another thing I wanted to say early, even when we're talking about James Brown. Remember, you had that argument going that Jimi Hendrix, probably created heavy metal.
Yeah.
And there's also and with James Brown is also a strong, argument could be made that he invented rap. From hip hop, like he was basically the prototypical first rapper, and everything else kind of just, came from him. So basically, Chadwick Boseman had to walk in those shoes, to get that to Black Panther, bring the suaveness, the coolness, the rhythm, all those, characters he played came to that role. So, yeah, like I said, he was just more than just Black Panther. He was just a great actor that brought everything 110% to every role he did. Like I said, we reviewed the Five Bloods on here. Even with that, he was awesome in that,
Yeah. That's why it's so shocking. I mean, he kept his private life private, and big up for him for doing that and being able to persevere during all this, because it's hard. I mean,
right. And it's a good thing for his family and friends also, like they didn't leak the information and say anything to anybody.
Yeah. That's hard. That took a lot.
Yeah. And then even after like tonight, they also had like an hour-long special. Like they played Black Panther tonight on ABC. And they played it for about, without commercials, just played it straight through. And then afterwards, they had like an hour-long, dedication to him. And they had all the Avengers, showing up, giving their thoughts on them. Robert Downey Jr. said things. Chris Evans said things. The guy to play Shang-Chi showed up. He even said, like, without Black Panther, I probably wouldn't be here. Because that's the impact of what Black Panther did, is that it is opening doors for other, people of color, superhero movies, big budget blockbuster movies, to change the narrative of what we think of what, other races are right now. Because, and that's another thing Chadwick Boseman was trying to combat. Like in his Howard speech, he was basically saying he was doing everything he could to try to stop from playing, stereotypical roles of just, drug dealers, deadbeat dads and, crackhead stuff like that. He wanted to change the narrative. Like, even if he did play those type of characters, at least give them some kind of depth, or just make them more than just two-dimensional characters that just somebody else wrote. Give them some, give them a reason, a motivation behind what they're doing. Don't just throw a character on there and just not do what you're doing. So yeah,
people don't understand like what the movie meant to people, like what that represent. Like when we talk about representation and real representation and the true perspective and seeing the character and that world through, a certain point of view, it speaks volumes to the community. And that's why, in the realm of comic book movies, yes, it is just a comic book movie, but to the people, it's more than that because it's showing what could have been, what is possible.
Right,
like
which is what science, like it said, it's a power fantasy. It's a power fantasy which we're always looking for. And like I said, most of these superheroes for Superman, Batman, Spider-Man are power fantasies. But when you see Wakanda and you see Black Panther, it's a power fantasy for Black people. Yeah. Something that, we didn't have before. Yes, had there been other superhero movies before, he's not the first Black superhero. Yes, we know Blade came, Steel, Catwoman, whatever, you name whatever you want to. But the point was that it's the first movie we seeing where like 90%, 95% of the actors are Black, everybody behind the camera was Black. So you can feel that who this movie was made for and what their intention was behind to make the movie. So it made you feel special behind it. And it tackled issues and topics that Black people and people of color totally understand. Right. That we weren't expecting to see in a superhero movie. Like you wouldn't expect it in like most other regular movies, much less a superhero movie dealing with topics like that.
And we talked about before, like a white person could have never wrote that Killmonger dialogue.
Exactly, because they wouldn't understand from that perspective.
Yeah. It was rough. It's rough. I mean, I can't.
Yeah. Let's see what we got. There hasn't been a movie like Bantha since Carmen Jones. Right. That's the thing. It was a game changer. It was a game changer. I mean, it made all that money for a reason. I mean, like I said, it was a grassroots movement for it. People were buying out theaters left and right. They were taking kids to go see it. Because people, it's basically like giving somebody a glass of water in the desert. That's what it felt like. You don't have it, but you get it, and now that you have it, you want more of it. So. Yeah, and
it's possible now. That's the thing is it can be done now,
right? And so honestly, like last Halloween, the Halloween before that, around 2018, where you're seeing white kids, running around as Black Panther costumes. I love it. I love it. Go do it.
Because I almost bought a Black Panther mask, but it wouldn't fit on my big ass head.
You can have mine. Because it's changing the narrative. Understand you're more than just what you see, because the media can influence not just what we think of ourselves, but what others think of us also. So if all you see is just drug dealers and, everything like criminals and stuff like that, and it's all you see us on TV, that may be cause of the reason why the police are so quick to, treat us differently than they will other people, because that's the first thing they notice. They may have not even Wisconsin. They probably never even seen a Black person before. So when they finally see a Black person, they just know from what they see on the media.
Yeah, that's and that's what's been happening. Not to get into the whole police issue, but policing the community. We have police that don't live in the community, that view the community as an NWA video, and that's what they think they're getting into. They think they're, they think they're they're working in Scarface. So they,
right. Before they even approach somebody, they're already looking at them like the enemy. They're looking at them like a threat.
It's like Ice Cube said, my skin's my sin, and this Black Panther showed that's not true.
Right. Or at least perception of it can be more than what you think before. That basically it opens it up that it's a better dialogue to have, So, and it's just going to open up now that they see that Hollywood is making so much money from this, and it's opening the door. Hell, this might have been the reason why Milestone got the ball rolling now.
Yeah.
They've been in limbo for like 60. I mean, I know they had their legal troubles and things like that, but they've been stuck in limbo forever. But now when they see in Black Panther making all this money left and right, they're like, oh, we're leaving money on the table. We need to get off our ass and whatever's going on, get this shit cleared up so we can get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can get a Static Shock movie, we can get a Milestone movie, get a Hardware movie, get a Shadow Cabinet movie, whatever. You know, they can get all this stuff and make that money. And when they make that money, it helps us out because now we see more representation. A Static Shock movie that's $1 billion easy. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably the reason why Parasite won Best Picture at the Oscars last year. A foreign language movie, an Asian foreign language movie. Never happened before.
Right.
Yeah.
But it happened now. So that's the thing. So people are looking for, a more diverse representation on the big screen. And he was helping to help to usher that in because, like I said, what he brought to the table, nobody else could have done that. It just couldn't happen. You can think of any, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but the point is that there was a short list of one that could have pulled this off what he did. Because if you don't have a convincing lead to pull this off, you don't have a movie. Flat out. That's all it is. So he was able to pull this all together. So just rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Everything you did, we appreciate you. Just for the time that you worked here and gave us everything you had, we appreciate you for that. So
so good journey, good sir.
Yeah. Let's move on past it. Eli, let's go to something a little bit lighter before we move on to this. So here's the thing. We were at first thinking about just making this just a Chadwick Boseman. Just a Chad. Yeah, it's something a little bit like I'm hoping it's lighter. So don't let me down on this one. Because the thing was, we were going to make this just a Chadwick Boseman podcast and just empty it and then just cut it off, just be done with it and say, everybody have a nice day. But honestly, we didn't want to leave it out this because, like I said, for a comic book podcast, this is escapism. And we do need to take our mind off just 2020. Because 2020 just fucking sucks.
This has been a shitty week.
Right.
This week alone was shitty.
This week, year, month, everything. I'm just
ready. I keep thinking, have we hit rock bottom yet?
Right. Like, what else can you do? I mean, damn. I know we got like.
Oh, the election's still coming up, so that's gonna be.
Shit, yeah.
It's like how low can we go?
Like all I heard is that the week before, day before the election is supposed to be a huge ass meteor coming. I'm like, well, that's good news. Shoot. So yeah, all right. So let me set you up for this, Eli. So yeah, we both watched movies this weekend. And that's pretty much actually at first was the whole show was going to really be about. And Eli, go ahead and talk about the movie. I didn't get a chance to see it, but I knew you got a chance to see it, so I'm gonna let you set it up and talk about how you want.
Okay. So yes, I saw Bill and Ted Face the Music, and it was just what I needed that day. It was so much fun. I had such a good time watching it. It really made my day. For those who don't know, Bill and Ted, it is the third. This is a trilogy now. This is the third installment to the Bill and Ted's franchise. They went on an excellent adventure. Then they went on a bogus journey. Now they face the music. The first one was about them going back in time and finding historical figures to help them pass their history projects so they wouldn't fail high school and the band would break up. Yes, in the future it is said that their band, the Wild Stallions, will create music that will save the world. And then in the second one, Bogus Journey, like a guy sends some robots back in time to kill them, and they get sent to hell where they play death in Battleship and Twister and other things and stuff like that. So here we are with this one. They're basically middle-aged losers.
And they have kids, right?
They have kids.
Yeah.
They're married with children. But they still have yet to write that song that is supposed to save the world. And it really, I related to it a lot, being that I'm a metal guy. I am a musician. I play in bands. I totally they nailed it. I mean, there's like, yeah, they're there's like, you played last week, you played in a dive bar to 30 people who were there for free taco night, like,
Right.
yeah. I mean, I'm one of those guys. Yes, I'm still playing blast beats in my 40s and questioning why I do this, loading gear in the middle of the night in the wintertime,
So they're still doing gigs, even though
they're still playing. They're still they still haven't written that song. Well, it turns out that reality is now crashing in on itself. And if they don't write this song at a certain point in time, then reality as we know it is going to go away.
It's just prophetic. This is new 2020 was coming when they wrote this movie.
Yeah. So basically they're like, oh shit, they end up going into the future to go take it from themselves because they haven't wrote it yet. Well, we'll go in the future. Since we wrote it in the future, we'll go there and take it from themselves.
So they still got the time machine, the phone booth.
Yeah. Okay. And then their daughters, they go back in time and find a bunch of historical. I'm spoiling it for y'all, so spoilers. They find a bunch of
just set that up first, but yeah.
Yeah. They go back in time and find a bunch of historical musicians. They find Jimi Hendrix. They find Louis Armstrong. They find Mozart. Because they're going to get the ultimate band that will back up their dads.
Right.
And that's basically what happens. They end up. It was just a really fun movie. Watching Keanu Reeves after seeing him in John Wick,
Right. Going back to the role that, made him famous. So
yeah, seeing him and I was like, I said, like, I'm like, am I like that? I'm like, I got to do that. I'm like, damn, when I go to pick up my kid from school, like, what's on my shirt?
Like when you was at your gig, that movie writers were just taking notes.
Yeah. Yeah. When I go to my kids' conferences, it's like, is there any skulls or dead things on my shirt? I gotta, but I think that's the point. He's like they're like, still trying to act like they're like teenagers and stuff. And they basically have a midlife crisis. They're questioning what are they doing and why are they doing this? And they're losers. They're a disappointment to their family and all that stuff. So really, it was very bitter, like sweet, and touched on an emotional level that I did not expect. Like I actually got a little glassy at the end,
From Bill and I wouldn't expect that from Bill and Ted,
Yeah, I got my eyes got a little misty, that's how much it got me. So I was really surprised how much I enjoyed this movie, and the message is awesome. Of course, the be excellent to each other, but it really hit home, like, because what unites people?
Mm-hmm.
Music.
It's a universal language.
Music is what unites people, and that really gave me goosebumps. Especially being a musician. Playing music and the joy you get from playing music. So, just when you think about what is the great unifier? It's not a religion. It's not a political party. It's not a nationalism or an economic class or anything. No, it's music.
Well, Independence Day said math, but
music is all math, accounting and stuff. Time measures.
That is true. That is true. So
music is math is a part of music. So that just on that level, I was like, it was just a very feel good movie, and they captured the characters very well. Like Bill and Ted back together again. They nailed it. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did.
How much were the daughters were in the movie?
That's the only critique I think I can get is I wanted more. It's only 90 minutes, so it was like done, and I was like,
wow.
But
so
I would have
got out and they said,
I would have loved to have seen more of the daughters on their adventure because they were going back in time and meeting Jimi Hendrix and shit. I was like, I wanted more of that.
So it's like two stories going on there. One went to the future, one went to the past, and kind of going back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I mean, it was just had so much joy watching this movie.
Now, let me ask you,
the week I had.
Yeah, it's been a shitty week. But so let me ask you, how did you see it?
I got it on VOD.
Because I think it was on Amazon Prime. Do you have Amazon Prime?
I got but I got it on Vudu.
Vudu, okay, because I think I don't know for sure. I have to take a look and say I think it's on Amazon Prime Video already.
Okay.
Like, you know, if you sign up for the subscription, I don't know. I might have to take a look at that again, but you know, I just
because you can own it. It wasn't like, remember when The Hunt and those other movies came out where you had to rent it? You could only rent it for $20.
Right. So it wasn't like that. Yeah.
You could actually own it. So I just bought it and now I got it. And it comes with all the extras and all that stuff. And so yeah, I really dug on it. It was a lot of fun.
Nice. So I'm actually looking it up right now. Bill and Ted Face the Music. Let's see. Bill and Ted's. Bogus Journey. Fucking words up. Let's see. Bill and Ted. I don't think it's on Amazon Prime because I'm just telling people how to get it if they wanted to get it. Here we go. Is it there? It is not on Amazon Prime Video. I do not know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay, so you have to buy the movie. You can either rent it for $20 or you can buy it flat out for $24.99. Now, here's the thing, Eli. Last time when they were doing this with whatever movie they're doing, they didn't even give you the Hunt, right? They didn't give you the option to buy it.
No.
Right. No. Which doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you rent it for $20 when you can buy it for $25? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I just bought it. I'm like, fuck it. I'm, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like a $5 difference. That doesn't make sense. Just buy it and be done with it, you know.
And I already watched it twice. I mean, I watched it again.
Right. So you already got your money's worth out of it, you know. So, all right. So let's move on to the next one. Reason I want to get that one out the way because the next one, I don't know where this one is going. I kind of know where it's going.
Oh, but the other movie we saw.
We saw two movies, not one, but two. We're back. We're almost back to being a movie podcast like we were when we first started. Before the world went to shit. So the next movie we're gonna do, which one I'm gonna do? Bam, that one. The New Mutants. That is the movie we saw this weekend. That is the movie that has been getting a whole lot of buzz going on right now. I have the box office numbers right now, Eli. It is number one. I'm trying to see how much money did it make this week. I mean, out of what choices, you know? I think I can't read these numbers. It almost did 10 million. Almost. It's like right under 10 million for the weekend.
That's not bad for a pandemic, I guess. That's probably the best one so far, I think, right?
Probably so. I mean, it's like, but this is worldwide, you know, but
I mean, but like a lot of the movies weren't even breaking like 500,000, you know.
Right, couldn't even get it right.
They weren't even breaking 1 million, you know. So
right, so at least they did something to get there. So yeah, we saw New Mutants. I'm trying to think. Should I let you go first? I'm gonna let you go first because, like I said, this is how we do it. I'm gonna collect my thoughts because I don't know what you're gonna say. I think I know what you're gonna say, but I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna pretend like I'm shocked, depending on what you say.
Okay. Well. It's not that bad. I know everybody's shitting on this movie because it's like trending, and that shitting on this movie is trending. It's
right, and that's how the internet is. They always exaggerate. Go ahead. I'll let you finish. I'm not going to.
It's not the dumpster fire that everyone's making it out to be. It's not great either, but it's I. It's I. You know, a capital O and a capital K. You know, I liked it better than BVS. Hey, I guess better than the Ant-Man movies. You know, I liked it better than Apocalypse.
Come on, if you're gonna troll, like say better than any MCU movie. You know, just really go there. Just really drive the point home.
I'm trying to like put it into perspective. Like if you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like come on. Like five years worth of it. How long did that show go on? Like, damn.
Well, 7 seasons, but they kind of whatever. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's totally mediocre. It's fine. It's not great, but it doesn't suck. You know, it's not like Last Stand bad. You know, or because you know what? I don't even like any of those Bryan Singer X-Men. I didn't like a X-Men movie to like First Class, so I enjoyed it more than that.
Okay,
you know?
Okay. So let me. Okay, so I didn't mean to cut you off. So what you're saying is this is one of the best X-Men movies instead of the worst.
Sure, but that's coming from me because I don't like the
I'm trying to get clarity. You know, transparency.
Who are you talking to? I don't like the X-Men.
Right.
So
Weird flex, but okay.
So that being said, it's totally fine. It's okay. It's not totally terrible. But then again, you're not getting the Avengers. You're not getting an Avengers movie. You're not getting an MCU movie. This isn't some big epic extravaganza. It is a more low-key character study. You know, that's what they were going for. They're going for a low budget, confined character study about overcoming trauma. That's essentially what it is. 5 kids overcoming PTSD with some horror shit that's not really horror in it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait.
I did feel like the movie was really short. I was like, that's it at the end. Like, you know,
that was a plus to me, but okay.
I was like, really? There was like, I can tell, like, okay, maybe you should have did some reshoots, because I feel like there wasn't enough character development. Like,
they couldn't. They were old as fuck by then.
Yeah, I know. It's like, because like there wasn't any like character backgrounds. Like, if you're a Cannonball fan, don't even see it.
Right.
Because they don't go. He doesn't get to do shit.
And that's what I want. I don't mean to cut y'all, but I'm wondering about this movie, because the thing is with us, we know the characters, we know the background, so we brought in that knowledge that we have to this movie to relate to these characters. But if we didn't know who the fuck these people were, could we relate to them? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I can see through that lens.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I know who they are. I read the comics. I'm familiar with their backstories, but like, if you came in and don't know shit about this universe or shit about these characters, you wouldn't know anything at the end of the movie either. You know? Right. And that's what I'm saying. It's like it was like
if you don't know these characters, you might be confused as fuck what happens. Like, what? Okay.
Yeah. Like, there was moments of like, okay, the horror, there's no horror in this movie.
Really
like, for me, I'm a horror fan. There was elements of that, but they didn't push it like they should have, you know, because you knew it was all just nightmares. You knew it wasn't real, you know,
right.
Because it's Danny doing all the shit. So there was no threat, you know.
Well, spoiler, you know.
Spoiler, yeah.
If you've never read a New Mutant comic, which I'm pretty sure you haven't.
About the only thing that I connected with was Rain and Danny's romance. That's about the only thing I gave a shit about. But other than that, it was disappointing. Yeah. I mean, especially, you know, we talk about Black Panther and what that represented. This was the first movie. Now I'm not going to go into it yet, because then I'll be on a rant for an hour. But as a Native American fan, comic book fan, this is the first movie with one of the prominent Native American superheroes.
Right.
Like,
and she was the lead. She was the lead in the movie.
She was the lead, and they don't do shit. There's nothing. And is she? That's how shitty like Native representation is in comic books. Is Danny Moonstar the most popular Native American comic hero besides Warpath, who don't do?
I was going to say either? Forge, and you know.
But what does Forge do? Forge doesn't do shit in the comics. At least Danny Moonstar was like the leader. You know,
right? Yeah, they don't even take Forge on missions. He just stay in the base and shit.
He's just back on the res, you know. And Warpath gets every X-Force comic with Warpath, he gets his ass kicked first. So then Wolverine or Cable or somebody else could come in and beat the bad guy. Like, Warpath sucks, you know. And they all say, "Oh yeah, except that one time he was on the mountain, you know, listening to the wind and shit." And but that, you know, so is it Danny Moonstar? Is she the most prominent Native
I would say so. I would say so, because, like I said, they've had Warpath in his X-Men before, but he's like killed off in like 5 minutes and shit.
He died. Like, Warpath was in Days of Future Past. He said like 3 words and he died twice. So fuck that shit.
Right.
You know, yeah. So Native representation in comic book movies have sucked, and I was really looking forward to this. you know, because I wanted this to be like the native Black Panther.
Right. And honestly, it should have been, but there's
nope. This turned out to be the native Ghost in the Shell, or just the shit we always get.
Right.
The shit we always get, just bullshit.
Oh man! All right, so let me go. Let me talk about this fucking movie, man.
Yeah,
all right.
You better go on because I got more. I got. More.
No, that's cool. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and you can say what you gotta say. Then I'm gonna say what I gotta say after that, because this movie. Okay, people want to know: is this movie good? No. Is this movie bad? Yes. But we got. There's levels to badness. So how bad is this movie? Is it like a complete train wreck like Fan Four Stick? No, it's not. Is it like spectacularly like bad, like memorable bad, like Catwoman or Batman and Robin, like something so bad you'll remember it? No, it's not. And honestly, that kind of even hurts it then. Like it's bad, but it's not bad enough to be entertainingly bad. It's just, yeah. So honestly, yeah, it's just like it's only hyped because so many times they got pushed back. But the thing about this movie is that for the first 2/3 of this movie, Eli, I was bored out of my fucking mind. Because I knew what the plot was. I knew what the twist was. Like I said, we picked the comic before, so we knew where it was going. So since we knew where it was going, it was just going through the motions. It was just like, what the fuck ever. And then when it finally got to the third act, it was like, oh yeah, we come from a comic book. Let's throw every fucking comic book thing we can. And it's just like, what? So it's like,
we got 15 minutes left. We better do this now.
Right. And see, the thing is, what they think they're doing is that, oh, we build you up to this. Now here's the payoff. It didn't feel like that. What it felt like was a complete tonal shift that actually took me even further out of the movie. Because I think they felt that its last scenes would be badass, but it didn't come off badass. It was just like, what the fuck ever. So
the ending was totally. No, I'll let you go because I got.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like the ending, it felt like they thought that, oh yeah, we saved up for this. This is the moment. It completely fell apart for me. And yes, there was a bunch of action shit that went around, but I didn't care about any of it because I didn't care about any of these characters. Now, for me personally, let's talk about, because the thing about when people talk about bad movies, they blame everybody except the actors. No, it's the actors in this movie. It's only two that I like. Now, I know you don't like her, but Ileana, I like her.
Well, I didn't like her as a character. I mean, yeah, she played a good bitch. That's what I.
Yes, she played a bitch very well. That's why I liked it, because basically when she was on screen, she was engaging. Like and the actress that played her, Anna, whatever, she was in one of those not M. Night Shyamalan movies.
I haven't seen that. I know what you're talking about.
Mr. Glass. I think she was in Mr. Glass. I think she was in there. So she's actually like on her way up. Like this is when she gets big, she'll forget this movie. Like, we'll forget this movie she was ever in it. You know, she's on her way. Your girl Rain, Wolfsbane, the one from Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I liked her. I thought she did a part. She was engaging. She was on screen. She played the role. I really believe she was Wolfsbane. Wolfsbane is one of my favorite New Mutant characters. So when she was on screen, I believe I was looking at Wolfsbane. You know, everybody else sucked. Sorry. I know your girl, Blue Hunt, and I know what she was doing. I know why she was so bland, because she was our point of view. Because since she's the main character, she's our point of view character. She's the character we see the movie through. So she's not supposed to be, over excited or supposed to be like this, outlandish personality. That's what Ileana was for.
They didn't give her anything. They didn't give her shit to do. That's go ahead. Okay.
Okay. But right, they didn't give her anything to do. And Cannonball and that other, I'm gonna get to that other fucker in a second. They were complete boring. Like, I don't remember them in the movie. I don't know who they acting. I'm pretty sure if I see either one of them in another movie, I would forget who they were. I'm like, you might look like somebody I know, but I don't really know. So, and the thing about this movie, like, they pushed it as a horror movie. It was not a horror movie.
Yeah.
You know what it was? No. It was a YA movie. It was a young adult, Hunger Games, Divergent. That's what it was. It was not even a comic book movie. It was like Divergent. It was more Divergent than Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, if they would have went full Nightmare on Elm Street, like the premise made it sound like, that would have been a cool ass movie. That would have been cool, Or even like Danny Moonstar, if it would have made it, I didn't really feel like she was being tortured with all her powers and stuff like that. They didn't really set up the demon bear. Here's the thing about this movie. There's so much.
didn't explain anything. That's
Right.
that's the thing.
So they didn't explain anything about it. They didn't explain the characters. Didn't explain it. The writing was shitty. The acting was shitty. The camera work was shitty. It was just so fucking dark all the time. It was boring as fuck. The director was mediocre. Like a lot of horror shit that even when he tried to go to the horror shit, he couldn't pull it off. I'm sorry. I don't know where this guy came from, but he couldn't even do horror like he was supposed to. So the one thing they were supposed to do to make this movie set apart from every other comic book movie, it failed at that.
Yeah.
So, and that's one thing I do want to give the movie credit for. I give the movie credit for at least trying to attempt something different. It had a moment. It felt like what Fans Four Stick failed at trying to do. At least this movie succeeded at what it was trying to do, where it didn't completely just fall in the face and just completely fall off. So at least it was trying to be a horror movie, Oh, and it ripped off the Breakfast Club. Like, what the fuck? And that's another thing about this movie. Like, I know you caught the Breakfast Club scene, right?
I don't know.
I know you've seen that movie. No, I know you're not that damn metal.
Club, but
I know you're not that damn metal. You haven't seen Breakfast Club.
I've seen the Breakfast Club. Yeah, I think I was just too pissed off at other shit. This movie pissed me off.
This movie pissed me off too, but I'm not getting to the pissed off shit yet. I'm getting to that for a second. That's the thing right now. I'm just reviewing the movie as a movie. All that other bullshit, we'll talk about that in a second. So the movie was trying to do so much stuff, but it succeeded or even barely worked at anything. Like it was trying to be a horror movie, failed. Trying to be a YA movie, failed. Trying to be Nightmare on Elm Street, failed. Trying to be a comic movie, failed. Fails left and right. The creepy factor, all that shit failed. So it was just like a waste of movie. Like, why does this movie even exist? Why did they even make this movie? If they're not even going to follow the source material. They didn't even follow the source material.
No.
The whole point of the movie, like at the end, okay, I'll spoil the movie. I don't give a fuck.
At least give me the native zombies, which was corny and fucking the
that's the
comic.
thing, and that's the thing. Like you said,
something.
And that's the thing, Eli. You said you wanted this to be the native Black Panther. Why the fuck it wasn't? Why wasn't it? Why didn't just throw Danny Moonstone and didn't really give anything to do when the Demon Bear storyline was like deep in Native American culture? At least that's what Chris Claremont said. Like he did the whole story that the Demon Bear represented. Colonization. How Europeans took over Native American land. He could have threw all this stuff in there, or how it represents the evil and bad side. He could have really threw in like any kind of folklore or did some research on that movie, but they were too lazy to do that shit.
Yeah. No, this was not from a native perspective at all.
At all. And that's the thing. You can tell when you just throwing in shit and it's not sincere or from that level. That's why this movie fucking sucks. So all these reviewers saying out the movie was mediocre, the movie was not that bad. No, fuck this movie. Man, I'm telling you, it was terrible. Do not go see this movie. Now, is it the worst X-Men movie? I don't think it's the worst, but there was some really shitty X-Men movies. So that's the reason it's not that bad. Overall, it's bad, but it's not bad enough to be remembered. If this thing came out like 2017, we would have completely forgotten this movie ever existed. And that's the crazy thing about it. Like what they didn't tell you is that, believe it or not, this movie actually does tie into the X-Men universe. I'm not going to say it because I don't really care. It was just like, oh, okay, that's the thing.
Yeah, I don't really care either.
Right. So it because at this point, it doesn't matter. Disney got this shit. They're going to fire everybody. They didn't want to put this fucking movie out. And I see why they didn't. All right, now I'm going to let you go again, Eli. And I'm going to come back and talk about the shit that actually pissed me off. Now we can get to what pissed me off shit.
Okay, well, what pissed me off was the fact that, there is no native identity in this movie. There's nothing native about this movie at all. The only sense of Danny's indigenous identity is the racist shit that Ileana says to her.
Right.
And that's why I was pissed off for half the movie. Right. I was like, I wanted Danny to punch that bitch.
Right.
I could not stand Ileana. I really couldn't. I hated her.
And that's the thing, Danny had to do something to her for her to say that racist shit. I
wanted her to beat the shit out of her. And this is what pisses me off about native representation and native portrayals in movies is Native women don't take that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm sick of these Native women being portrayed as these timid, fucking submissive, fucking like she's the Land O'Lakes butter bitch. You know, on her knees. Here you go, pilgrims. You know, like fuck that shit. I fucking hate that shit. And that's basically what I got. Ileana talking all this racial shit to her, and I just wanted Danny to beat the shit out of her, and it was just frustrating. You know, just yeah, Ileana just that's probably what triggered me. I was triggered because Ileana,
honestly, Eli, when I saw that part, I was like, oh, I know Eli gonna hate this shit. I knew he gonna hate this shit. We deal with racism all the time, but at least punch the bitch, you know? Right.
Give me
Get
that.
some payback on it. Right.
This is a superhero movie, right? She's a superhero, right? This is our native comic book superhero. Do some super shit, you know?
Right.
Give me some cathartic, like when bitch ass Superman broke up the fucking truck in Man of Steel.
Right.
Like do something. Give me that.
Like do some super shit. Right.
Yeah. Give me that cathartic release that we get from superhero movies, and they didn't do that shit because Ileana was a fucking cunt. I couldn't stand her. She was like the total embodiment of that. The hot white girl superiority complex, you know. I'm
right.
hot,
the mean
I'm blonde,
girl, you know.
Yeah, everybody wants to fuck me, everyone wants to be my friend, everybody's nice to me. That's what she embodies, and I fucking couldn't stand that shit. And when you put her in a movie with a Native woman and don't fucking do anything about it, that was whack, you know. And then the whole demon bear thing,
right,
when she just pets the bear at the end, like, oh, if the demon bear was supposed to be Danny's power, which it's not in the comics.
Right. It's got a completely separate sign energy that they were trying to protect her from. Yeah.
They fucked that whole idea up. So if the demon bear was supposed to be a part of Danny's power and part of Danny's identity, in the end, she was supposed to tame it. She was supposed to hide it and subdue it and not be fucking native, because that's what I got out of that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Instead of embrace that shit, like, you know, just
I'm making y'all uncomfortable. I'll just, you know, I'll take off these feathers and put on this baseball hat.
Because Danny was passive the entire time through the movie, right?
That's what was so frustrating, you know, and the fact that you can tell, this is non-Indians working on this shit. They did not. It's like they Google, yes, that story about the two bears. That's a meme on the fucking internet.
Right.
That all these hipster new agers, you know, share on their timelines to make themselves feel culture.
Right.
You know, only it's wolves in the meme. They change it to a bear. It's like all they did was Google some shit, Wikipedia Native Americans, and then threw that in the script. And they didn't do that was their research. You know.
Right.
You know, so
this is the type of shit that Hollywood need to get away from. Right.
Yes, you know, and we talk about Black Panther. You know, when we see Black Panther or movies like Get Out and like The Watchmen or Lovecraft Country, what's going on? These stories, you're seeing that person of color perspective and how these stories, you know, represent our history and resilience and resistance and all that stuff. You get that. I didn't get that from this. It's just the same old stereotypical shit. You know, because like the bear, giant bears are part of Native mythology, Native stories. You know, they could have opened up the opening scene of this movie could have been thousands and thousands of years ago. You know, a giant bear was tearing up the landscape and a bunch of Native warriors were fighting it. That could have been the beginning of this fucking movie.
Oh, you know, they didn't have any money for that.
and that's how they gave the abilities, like the warrior power. You know, they could have explored mutants from a Native perspective. What does a person with special abilities mean to Native traditions? Because I bet you they had one, you know, especially if they made Danny gay. You know, if Danny's a gay character, the gay community, the LGBTQ community, traditionally, that's inherent to Native traditions. Mm-hmm. The gay community had a role in Native culture. You know, whether it be two-spirit or the third or multiple genders, the gay community had a role. They were considered sacred in Native traditions. They could have explored that. You know, especially with this character, if they were going to make her gay and check all
they
these
had to do
boxes,
is just do their home, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, now, let me say what pissed me off before we get there. Let's go to the callers. Let's see what we got. I heard director canceled, deleted his Twitter for racism. Yeah, fuck that guy. I seen what the guy look like. Now, here's my thing about that, because that's actually what the fuck pissed me off. Now, like you said, Eli, they're going around just checking boxes. Okay, yeah. they have one person of color in the movie, so they got that taken care of. You know, they got a homosexual relationship in it. They got that taken care of, so they checked all these boxes. They're good. Meanwhile, they whitewashed everything else in that role. Because when we talk about Sunspot, Roberto, look at this. They don't look alike. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So that guy didn't even look Hispanic. I mean, I know he is, but he didn't even look Hispanic. You know, so, and not only that, Cecilia Reyes, you know, she got dreadlocks. What the fuck that happened? Now, I get the point that Rosario Dawson was supposed to play that role, and I would have been cool with that, and she dropped out. But damn, that don't mean just say fuck and just go a different direction. You know, so my thing is, Eli, why are they pushing the lesbian relationship, which was not originally in the comics and which alters the relationship that was in the comics? They altered that into a completely different relationship because they're trying to do something different. But the diversity that was in the comics that they did push for, they completely erased that. Why are they doing that? What the fuck is going on?
It was just lazy.
It's lazy. They're checking boxes.
Like, because they checked 3 boxes with Danny. You got a native, you got a woman, and a gay person. Right.
So they rule of 3. Rule of 3. We're good.
They got 3. They checked out 3 diversity boxes. The rest is for the white folks. You know.
Right. So that's why you showed a picture. Everybody better look. Like Danny better be the darkest person on that picture.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can't sell this movie. You know. And I get Sunspot, because this Sunspot thing actually been controversial for a while, because let's go back to Days of Future Past. Look at this and look at this, because that's what we look at Days of Future Past. So they've completely whitewashed Sunspot like for decades now. Like, just completely forgot where he came from. Like yes, Afro Latinos or Afro Latinx is a thing. It's a real thing, Hollywood. It's okay to embrace it. You won't confuse people. So I don't know.
I mean, they could have. This could have been an opportunity that they missed to really explore mutants, the mutant mythology through a native perspective, and they fucked it all up. You know, that's what really got me in the end. Like I was really hoping, I was really excited to see a Native American superhero in a movie, and they ruined it. You know, so now we ain't gonna get another one for who knows when.
Exactly, because they fucked it up. So they're we're done with New Mutants. Like, that's the thing. So now, when you even say New Mutants, the name, and regardless of what property you do or other movie you do, now it's a laughing stock. Yeah, like you can't even say the movie. People keep a straight face anymore.
Yeah, that's why, especially in a year like we keep saying Black Panther, Lovecraft Country, and you know, the movie Blood Quantum, the Native zombie movie made and starring Native Americans, a Native horror flick from a Native perspective. You know, in a day and age where that's going on, where you see true representation and from the Native point of view, that, you know, sure, it's an okay zombie movie, but as a Native American movie, it's like there's nothing else like it. You know, and that's what we go back to Black Panther. It's like, yeah, it's an okay superhero movie, but to the Black community, it's so much more than that.
Right. It means something more. Right.
Yeah. And that's what they could have did with this, you know, and I just wish, you know, I'll commend them.
They were too lazy with it. That's
I'll commend them for at least trying to get some actors, you know.
Well, your boy Adam Beach was in it, wasn't he?
Adam Beach was in it.
Your boy Adam Beach was in it.
Yeah. He got a paycheck. Blue Hunt, controversial, but hey, you know, and this whole
and that's the thing, like we were talking, and that's the thing, like maybe she could have fought for it, you know. I understand she's young. I understand she's trying to get her foot, and roles like this don't come around alone. But you know, she could have fought for something.
Yeah, I just read a interview with her, and she was saying she almost didn't even take the role because she felt she wasn't Native enough. That people would question her Native identity because she was adopted out, and she questioned doing that. And then when the backlash happened, she kind of went into hiding. That's why you never saw her on Twitter or anything. She kind of
because they would come after her, like
because that was that, and this is we've been talking about New Mutants on my Geek Savs. For those who don't know, I did another podcast from a Native perspective. The Native
We
Nerds
will
podcast.
bring Geek's ass back.
Yeah,
Geek's
one of
ass
these
will
days,
return.
Yeah, one of these days when I get my shit together. We're kind of on hiatus right now. But yeah, we talked about the New Mutants, Danny Moonstar as a character. We tracked the making of this movie, you know, because this is right up our alley, you know. So we knew the whole Blue Hunt controversy where some natives don't think she's actually native.
Right.
And she's a controversy. It's controversy. So even
and maybe that's why they cast her as. I'm not knocking Blue Hunt. Like I said, I don't know her, but I'm just saying maybe that's why they casted the role, because she's native but not too native.
Yeah. Or something. Yeah.
Like that may be how she got the role. You know, we don't want you too native. You know, you can't look too ethnic looking. You got to be, you know, just enough so you don't look like everybody else, but not too much, you know. And that's probably why she got the role. That's probably why she didn't say shit, because I'm just collect this paycheck. But at the same time, you got to understand, when you take roles like this, you're throwing your own race under the bus.
Yeah, because I like
is that worth a paycheck? I mean, you're being a sellout. You're being a sellout. I'm just saying.
And that was controversy. Like, I've gotten into arguments with other native fans about this, you know,
right?
Whether or not she is, whether or not, you know, like, and there's two ways. Okay, yeah. If she, let's say she's not native, let's go through the, you know, both sides. If she's not native, she's just another pretending to be Indian, taking another role from a native actor, because
because selling herself as an exotic look can open up for any kind of role.
Yeah,
you know?
And it's not true representation. You're whitewashing the role. This has gone on for natives since the dawn of Hollywood, getting Italians and Mexicans and Asians to portray natives in film. That is a problem we have to deal with, and we're trying to stop. Mm-hmm. But let's just say she is telling the truth. And she was adopted out and wasn't raised on the res and raised in a white family. What does that say about natives? And how our acceptance, how we accept those outsiders, and what, you know, it's controversial, you know. Right. So I'd like to give her the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, you're
but we just talked about this, you know, water in the desert. You know, it's not like we got any other native superheroes out there.
Yeah. This is, like I said, this might be our most popular native superhero.
Right. So it could, honestly, Eli, I'm not throwing you under the bus, but it could make you look like in a bad light, trashing her when you don't have any other superheroes around. And the one you get, you shit on her.
Yeah. Like, I really wanted to believe her. You know, I was hyped. Like I said, I was hyped for this movie, but I'm not shitting on her. I'm shitting on the writers and for the directors and who made this and didn't. But
like we said, she could have pushed something in there, you know, instead of just taking whatever you give me, you know. And I get it. She's young.
Yeah, she's
young.
It
ain't like she has
21 right now. She was like probably 17, 18 when she was on
15 whenever this movie came out. Like
this was supposed to come out like 3 years ago.
Right.
And it was shooting like 4 years ago. So, so I'm not knocking her, but you know, it's just a damn shame. Like I was excited for this, and it's been agonizing watching it get delayed, watching everybody shit on it, and just it's gonna suck. This movie sucks, and not getting how much it means to native fans and what this meant to us. And
because they checking boxes, they don't care.
Yeah,
they've done their part, and you know.
Yeah. So watch Panther again. Just to get that feeling that I wanted from the Mutants.
Right. What do we call it? Virtue signaling. Virtue signaling. That's what they're doing. We've done our job. Yeah. So let's go to the callers. Let's see what we got. Want to be woke face person. Says they're pretty racist. Russian bitch was mean as fuck. Jesus Christ. We like the Russian bitch. That's one thing I did. I love to hate her. That's the thing. Like the fact that she made me hate her made me like her. I'm like, okay, you've done your job, you know. And that's the thing. Like,
it made me hate Birdo. He's like, oh, she's so hot. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I want to Danny punch his ass too. I'm like,
right. Since you want to be the fucking boyfriend and shit, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. That's my thing about that. Just because she was acting so much like a bitch, she pulled the bitch roll off right. So at least we got that going for the movie, you know.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I was gonna talk about video game shit. I'm just gonna pass by that because we actually running too long. I was trying to keep it at a certain time and past the time we were supposed to keep it at Eli. We've gone past that. So we're just going to just jump right into it. And we're going to talk about this, the comic book part where we talk about comic book bullies, the part where everybody leaves, but don't leave. Because this is the book that you've been begging us to do and been, you know, knocking on the door like, when does this book come out? When does this book come out? What's going on with this? The Three Jokers. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the Three Jokers. That is the book we're going to talk about. And that is the thing that is happening. So the book with what's going on right now. Eli, you read this one, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Okay. I know you're excited about it.
I did, yes.
Okay.
For our lovely audience, you know.
For you know.
For all two of you. Yeah.
So basically, yeah. So the base of the book starts off with that we see Batman. He's driving and he's just driving right into like his parents' tombstone because he got fucked up from another mission again. And this is the thing that really fucked me up when I saw this. You got, let me see if I can shoot this without fucking everything up. Yeah, look at this. They actually show all the scars that Batman has on him. You know, and that's actually like the theme of this whole book that we're talking about. Like Alfred's patching him up. And so that means since Alfred is here, that means this is definitely like an Elseworld story because Alfred's dead, which we will get to later on in this book. So basically, Alfred's patching him up. He's talking about all the scars he had. And it's actually like pretty cool. So you see the scars he has, you know, scars of Bane, you know, beating the shit out of him. You got Riddler doing that shit, Catwoman scratching him. And then they also get a picture Crime Alley where his parents get shot for the 50 millionth time. And you know, Alfred saying like this wound isn't going to heal, you know, but he was talking about the wound that he brought into the Batcave with him. So going forward, basically the Joker has committed a crime. He killed some people. Then 2 minutes later, they say, oh, Joker killed some more people across town. Then it gets another thing. Joker killed some more people, even across another town. So there's three Jokers running around. They're like, how the hell is there three Jokers going around? Also, Batgirl and Red Hood also on here. Of course, they have to be here because they're also victims of Joker in the past. So, and matter of fact, Red Hood even still has the scars from Joker beating him, bashing his head with crossbow. Crowbar. I said it wrong. Crowbar. So they go to Ace Chemicals because that's where Joker did his first crime. And Batman, you know, is talking to Batgirl. She shows up, and you know, while they're doing it, Batman can tell, you know, Commissioner Gordon is like staring at Batgirl the whole time, and Batman's like, okay, you know, so he knows something is up, you know, especially when they keep talking about the Joker stuff like that. So when they riding, you know, Batman's like, does Gordon know? Does Gordon know what the hell you're doing? He's like, nah, he doesn't know. He's just saying this shit. So while that's going on, they take one of the dudes actually wakes up. So instead of Joker didn't kill him, they take him to the hospital, and while he's in the ambulance, he gets choked out by the Red Hood. And so he's like, where's the Joker? Tell me where the Joker is. So Batman, you know, stops him from beating the shit out of him. And he basically, why are you here? He's like, I'm here because I found out that the Joker is back and I need to take him out because you guys keep fucking up all the time. So I need to make sure he got to come back. So we finally get to the Joker, and that's when you see the first two Jokers. Now, here's the thing I don't like, Eli. Oh, this is one thing I really didn't like. And this is personal for me. The two Jokers that we meet, they're two alike. I can't tell the difference. I don't even know which one is the clown, the comedian, or the whatever. You know. Oh, and this traumatized me right here. Large Marge Trucking. Now I'm gonna tell you why this traumatized me.
Is that from Pee Wee Herman?
It's from Pee Wee Herman because Pee Wee Herman, the movie, actually scarred me for life.
Did it?
Yes, it scarred me for life, especially the Large Marge scene.
Really?
It scarred me. It fucked me up today. I can't watch that movie.
No shit.
Seriously, I cannot watch that movie. Like if somebody even if it came on, I'm changing that shit. That movie is worse than Exorcist or Nightmare on Elm Street. It's worse than.
Are you scared of clowns too?
I'm not scared of clowns, but that movie, you know what? Because I saw it when I was young, and the movie was all goofy and shit. I would expect, and then when the Large Marge scene came, it came out. I'm traumatized. I can't watch nothing else in this movie.
That's funny.
Oh man. So yeah, but I get it because significance. Pee-wee's Big Adventure is Tim Burton's first movie, so I guess that's why it's significant. Anyway, so
oh wow, oh shit.
Yeah, so
Check
it's
you out.
symbolism.
Yeah.
You know. So
Going
anyway,
deep.
so there's 3 Jokers, even though the other 2 Jokers look the same. There is an older Joker that's there also. He kind of looks Jack Nicholson-ish, kind of. Think maybe, I don't know. But anyway, the point is that he's saying we need to make another Joker because they stole all the chemicals from Ace Chemicals and they drove him to this hideout. He's saying the older Joker is saying we need to make another Joker. So basically, like Batman, Red Hood, and Batgirl's theory is that there's one real Joker and the other Jokers are basically imposters. Like basically, he Joker venomed them willingly, basically like Harley Quinn. It basically made like male Harley Quinns, you know, according to them. So they go to the Gotham Aquarium. And that's when Batman sees, and Batman, Batgirl, and Red Hood, they see Joker fish or piranha, and then they see a Joker shark. All this shit is this shit Joker does. Matter of fact, specifically this shit that the Silver Age Joker does. You know. So then one of the Silver Age Joker's goons, henchmen, like some dwarf name, what was her name? Peggy? Or Punchy? Whatever like that. Yeah. Honestly, remember the dwarf that was in, the little person that was in Joker? The movie Joker?
Oh, yeah.
I think that was him. Or not necessarily him, but like a nod to him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking for. So anyway, he shows up. I'm here to fight. I'm here for the Joker, but we're making sure that we don't kill the Red Hood. So they start fighting and doing some bullshit. And then the Red Hood actually shoots the glass of the tank where the little dwarf is there. And then actually the shark gets through and the shark eats him. You know, I thought it was a pretty cool scene. And then the actual Joker shows up. The Joker shows up, throws piranha at Batman, takes Batman out. They beat the shit out of Joker. There's like very little effort. They take him out. And then he starts talking. And this is the thing that got me when the Joker starts talking, because Batman says, he gets a call from Gordon. Gordon said, we got the other Joker at the other location. Batman says, okay, I'm about to go. You guys take him to Arkham. I'm going to handle this. So he leaves Batgirl and Red Hood, Jason Todd, with this crazy ass Joker, and this Joker just saying all kind of fucked up shit. He knows everything about him. Oh yeah, Jason, remember when I bashed your head in with a crowbar? Yeah. Guess what? I really didn't kill you. I didn't want to kill you because it would be fun not to kill you. So while he's talking all this shit, I'm trying to remember what he said. Oh yeah, talking all this shit, and he's saying, "Remember what you said, Jason, when I bashed your head in with a crowbar? You said if you don't kill me, I'll do anything you want. I'll even become your Robin." And then he said, now look at you. You're wearing my old colors. You calling yourself the Red Hood. You're killing criminals. You're terrorizing Batman. You're making Batman's life live in hell. Guess what? You are my Robin. And that's when Jason Todd is like, man, fuck this. So he pulls out his gun, gets ready to shoot him. But right before he shoots him, like Batgirl throws a batarang at him to try to stop him, but she misses. And then that's when Jason Todd shoots him. Boom. Blows his Joker's head off. And Batgirl's like, what the fuck did you do? You killed him. He was like, well, you could have stopped me. And when you threw the batarang at me, when do you ever miss? And she was like, screw you, Jason. And then she left. So yeah, Joker's dead. Jason killed him. Or one Joker down. One down, 2 to go. Yeah, that one's down, 2 to go. So yeah, overall, this story was underwhelming. Yeah, they build it up. They build it up like it was going to be this thing. And I know this supposed to be like some shocking moment, like, oh shit, he killed the Joker. We don't even know if that's the Joker. So like I said, they got 3 Jokers going around, and then they were supposed to make it seem like it was like, you know, when I'm looking for a Jeff Johns story, I'm expecting some kind of, you know, theme or, you know, some like deeper meaning going on like that. I didn't get that from this story. It just felt like just a leftover story he didn't finish, and he's just finishing up.
You expected that after Doomsday Clock?
Not after Doomsday Clock. I expected this after the Dark Side War, that shit. You know, but it just felt like
before Doomsday Clock.
It did come out for Doomsday Clock, so it did. So I don't know. I was expecting too much from this. So when I got it, I was like, so that's a story. They're just a bunch of Joker goons that he just did, or maybe they are. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It was just underwhelming. I was expecting more from this story. They built it up so much. I was expecting something different, and then it was just an okay story. I'm gonna stick with it, but because maybe it'll get better. You know, Jeff Johns usually is reliable, if nothing else.
I thought this was exactly as what I was expecting. Like here's Jeff Johns
Mhm.
giving us the greatest hits, showing us how much he knows the lore, and giving all the throwbacks and all the all the little comic book nods that the fans will be like, "Ooh, I remember that because I'm a comic nerd and I know all this shit. Ooh,
Right.
I love this stuff." That's what that's
But
what
right, but it wasn't any substitute. It was just like, you're right. It was just like a mixtape. That's all it was. Greatest hits. Just
And there's this big mystery that I really don't give a shit about, but okay, he's gonna give us this long journey and probably reset the universe or some shit again. It's just gonna be a blue balls in the end, like Doomsday Clock. Like after Doomsday, this ain't going on for a year, is it? How many issues is this?
Hopefully like 3 or some shit to get this shit.
I don't want to read this for the next year. Yeah.
This doesn't need to be that long. Let's go to the call and see what we got. Comedian Hawaiian shirt, modern age, criminals, older guy, golden age, survey, prankster.
Yeah. It's just
okay.
Like he's going through the different Batman lore and
I get that.
Referencing the cartoons with the fish and the shark and
he also referenced that like there's 2 different origins that may have what killed Wayne. Like maybe there was a mob hit, maybe it was a random goon. Like they made reference to either one. Like whatever you think. Yeah,
Joe Chill was the fall guy or some shit. Like
like whatever you want to believe, it's there.
Like basically a nerd's. Like a pretentious nerd's wet dream. Like, oh yeah, well, what about the time when the Joker did that didn't fall in the continuity of when they did this and that, and then that's why Crisis sucked because it ruined that storyline. Like,
right, and that's the thing. Like a lot of comic book fans think just because they name drop a bunch of shit from some shit they remember, they think it makes a good comic. That doesn't make a good comic.
Yeah,
a good story makes a good comic.
Yeah, this just feels like let's throw a bunch of shit that only like bunch of deep cuts from Batman lore. The Batman's Crisis.
Right. That's exactly what it is.
That
might be the name of the podcast. I mean this episode.
Joker's Batman. The Batman who laughs, and that ties into the that's probably what it's gonna be.
So overall, I still give it a 4 out of 5. I didn't hate it. But as much as they build it up, that was, I expected more.
Jason Fabok, his art.
Hey, his art was great. Honestly, I thought it was Gary Frank. I thought it was the same dude from Doomsday Clock, but it was like Jason Fabok. Okay, so he imitating Gary Frank. I'm like, okay. But that guy, like anything he draws is awesome.
Yeah, Fabok.
Like I've been following him for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on Detective, right?
Was he?
When during the while Capullo and Snyder were doing Detective, he was doing we're doing the New 52.
Yeah.
He was doing like Detective and I think like Earth. Did he do Batman Earth 2 or something?
No. That was Gary Frank. That's the thing. Like he's drawing like Gary Frank. Like if you put the panels together, you can't tell the difference. But Fabok normally doesn't draw like that. So
Fabok's one of the dope, one of the good.
That guy needs more work. Like DC, give that guy more work.
Yeah. As far as Batman, he's one of the cooler Batman artists.
Yeah.
So I really
he's definitely one of DC's top tier. So that's why I'm giving the book a higher mark because he killed it. Art wise, he killed it.
Yeah, it was really cool to see. The story wise, I can see where this is going, or maybe I don't. I mean, I don't know the ending, but I can see it's gonna be. I can see what it's gonna be. It's gonna be just a mystery that I don't really give a shit about.
You're right. Another Joker story. So
yeah.
All right. So what you got? What you got next?
I don't know. What did I do?
Okay.
I'm just
gonna throw it up there. I'm just gonna throw it up there, and you just spitball. Okay.
Yeah. Tell me what I'm talking about.
Okay. Okay. We got comic book reviews, Empyre, Captain America.
Oh, yeah, I'll talk about that. About that.
Go for
it. Captain America Empyre #3. This is the conclusion to that tie-in story arc where Captain America is fighting the Katati on Earth. The Katati, they raised this big giant mountain monster that's stomping over Mexico City. Last issue, Cap and his squad of army dudes, they teamed up with some Kree soldiers and they went to go fight this big giant monster. And this is this issue. It's just nothing but action. They're fighting the big giant monster. They're fighting, they got the squad on the ground fighting the troops. You got like the Kree and all their warships in the sky trying to, shoot down they're trying to shoot the big giant rock monster. And it's like King Kong. He's like swatting the ships out of the sky and shit. At one point, there's like the end game Thanos going rain fire or whatever. We're gonna kill our troops too. I don't care. Just rain. They just start shooting down, trying to kill this thing, but they can't kill it. Finally, Cap runs up like what's that, Shadow of Colossus or whatever, that video game.
Shadow of Colossus, yeah, that game.
Yeah. He runs up the back of the mountains monster and ends up fighting. What was that? The general's name? She Quanth or whatever. The guy controlling it. He ends up beating that guy's ass because he was controlling the monster. He was sitting on the monster's shoulder. Cap runs up the monster and beats that guy, and that's how they destroy it.
He takes that guy, takes out the big monster, right? Yeah, because Cap is, tactician,
Yeah. So Cap, saves the day. And then they're like, okay, we won this battle. Earth is okay for now. But then he gets a call. Hey, Cap, we need you in Wakanda right now. And then to be continued in Empyre number 5 or 6 or whatever one. Remember what's going on in Empyre? So I enjoyed this. It's a 4 out of 5. There was a really cool scene where, Cap gives his cool, war speech. Like, this is a battle we've never, unlike any we've ever fought. This is not a war over politics or religion. This is about life on Earth. And we are all one. And, he gives that inspirational, let's kick ass speech. And,
the music playing in the background. Yeah.
Yeah. Star Spangled Man.
With a plan. Oh, man. All right. So, yeah, that was quick. Okay. Next book we're going to do is, let's see. Boom. Okay. Yeah. Next book we're going to do is X-Men number 311, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do that one. Honestly, Eli, this is a pretty awesome book. There's another one of those Empyre tie-ins. I didn't know it was going to be one of the Empyre tie-ins, but it was. It's a Magneto-centric book.
That you said you weren't going to read.
Right, but until I read it. It got me. So the book starts off with story time. And it's actually starting off with your boy, Exodus. Because, he's also Native American.
Is he?
I think so. I think it may be a retcon, but I think he's Native American also. So he's basically telling the story, telling all the kids about this time this great hero came, and saved the kids. And this is the shit that happened yesterday because basically the Kotati have invaded, Krakoa. They made a beeline straight for Krakoa. They're like, we're going to fuck up the mutant and get them, take them off the playing field before we get everybody else. So then the book opens up with Magneto, and he's actually
the three Magnetos.
Well, not that shit. Marvel's not that desperate. So yeah, for some reason Magneto's like butt ass naked, and Magic comes in there, and Magic tells him, and it's Ileana from New Mutants. For those who don't know, she's actually cool in the comics. She's not a bitch there.
No, she is cool in the comics.
Yeah, she's cool in the comics. And basically tells Magneto what the fuck's going on. Look, we're being invaded by plant monsters. He's like, where's Cyclops? Well, the captain, stuff like that. They're on the moon. They're fighting these dudes on the moon. Trying to hold them off because that's where they're coming from. So, and Magneto's like, are you going to join them? He's like, well, I want to, but if I join them, we're going to need some help down here to defend Krakoa. So, old man, you ready? You going to hold up while we're doing this? And he's like, okay. And then he, out of the 3 costumes he had, he's like, okay, I'm going old school, And then Magneto goes old school with old school, red and purple colors. And he just goes and the rest of the book, it's just him fucking people up. The rest of the book. I mean, the plant monsters, he just stabbing the shit up left and right. To spoil the end of it, he tells Magma, I need you to cause a volcano in Krakoa. And she's like, okay. So she erupts a volcano, and while she erupts a volcano, he tells Iceman to ice the volcano. Like it's hot. It's 2 tons, and like it's 20 tons of liquid metal. I need you to ice it down. He's like, cool. So now you have 20 tons of liquid metal. Magneto can do whatever he wants with this. He's like, so what should I do next? So he makes the sky rain metal down on the Kotati. Fucks all of them, kills all of them. Well, most of them. And then like the head dude, while he's seeing rain is falling down from the sky, he's grabbing Toad. He's like, Who the fuck is doing this shit? Which one of you mutants are powerful to do that? He breaks Toad's neck.
Oh, I heard about this. Yes, I heard about this.
Yeah. So he break Toad's neck, and he just like, and Magneto's like, I'm the one that did it. You know, and say, who like, I've heard about you meatbags like you. You always think you're gonna do some shit. Well, come on and fight me. And this shit is fucking bad. I gotta walk you through this shit. So this dude think he's gonna fuck Magneto up, walking towards her. Magneto looks up in the sky, brings a satellite down, drops it on his ass. So, and then this dude throws the satellite away. He's like, you think that's the best you got? He throws a big one on his ass. Oh shit! Like Magneto just fucks this dude up, man. And then so Magneto just like he tells he tells the separate cuckoos, he's just like, look, if they, because the satellites he dropped on were the satellites that the governments of the world were using to spy on Krakoa. They didn't tell them they had. So Magneto like tells the separate cuckoos, like, if anybody asks him the satellites, tell them I said what satellites, you know. And so he goes to Krakoa. I mean, he goes to the moon, you know, through one of those mutant portals, and he helps them, you know, fight back at Kotati. And while they doing that, Exodus is saying, so who is your hero, kids? And they're like, Magneto, Magneto, Magneto. So basically, and the story ends. So basically what Jonathan Hickman is trying to, and it's a story, it's a theme they're saying behind the story. Because at the beginning they say it's a game where it doesn't matter where you start, because wherever you start, it don't matter. You're going to end in a different spot also. Basically what they're saying, Magneto, when he first started, he was a villain. Flat out, full-on villain, just a mutant doctor doing this all he was. But in this story, he's not an anti-hero. He's not an anti-villain. He's not an anti-anything. He is a full-blown superhero. He might as well be, you know, metal controlling Jesus in the story. You know, he's basically, because the kids look at him basically like their savior. So I guess it's all about perspective, you know, like they may not look at, like everybody else may not look at Magneto like or they look at Magneto like a terrorist. But these kids, to them, he is their superhero. It's kind of fucked up, but it's like representation matters. So mutant representation matters, I guess. He was badass on Mega Level Me. Yes. I think they said, I think in one of the excerpts they said in this book that they're going to have an Omega level school with Omega level mutants with Magneto training them. Because that's one of the thing, another theme in the story is that because Magneto was so fucking badass, so fucking alpha, that he's fucking dudes up by himself. The reason he's got to pull so much of the weight because everybody else Krakoa isn't trained as well as they should be. Mm-hmm. So once they get everybody else trained, then they can fight off these guys. They don't have to be just, because if Magneto wasn't there, you know, they would have been fucked up. So they need to make sure they can protect themselves. Magneto's not there. So badass story. Nah, 5 out of fucking 5, man. 5 out of fucking 5. Hickman killed this shit, man. All right, so I'll let you go next.
All right, I got Red Border #4.
Awesome.
This is that AWA Upshot label.
Yeah, not root beer or wrestling federation.
No. So Red Border. This is a horror book. This is the last issue, so I'm gonna spoil the shit out of it. I don't care because this is dope. I really dug this story. Mm-hmm. Basically, these two Mexican kids, this girl and this guy, they try to sneak across the Mexican border because she pissed off the drug cartel. So they got drug cartel gangsters after them. They sneak across the border. They're all the cartel assassins find them and they're right about to kill them, but then the assassins get killed by these rednecks. You know, these just redneck dudes, Americans, kill the cartels, take the two kids into their house. Oh, welcome. You know, why don't you guys chill out here in our house, be our guests until all that murder shit gets blown over, which should be a few days. So it turns into this kind of creepy family. Turns out they're basically it's like Texas Chainsaw. They're cannibals. This family of cannibals, and they're killing and eating Mexican immigrants coming across the border. So they escaped the last issue. This one of the kid gets recaptured and he's being tortured and they're like cutting him up and shit. The girl is running off, but then she gets found by the cartel who are still looking for her. And they're basically chasing her. She jumps in a car, she steals a car, and she's got the cartel gangsters chasing her. And so she's driving. Meanwhile, we're back at the house. The cannibal rednecks are torturing this poor kid, the Mexican kid, and it's, you know, a lot of political commentary. You know, the rednecks are like, this is America, you're fucking with our traditions, you know, this is our land, blah 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 blah, and all that shit. And but then right when they're about to kill him, the chick comes crashing through the house with the car she stole, with the gangsters following her. So all this commotion, the gangsters get out, they got their machine guns, and they're right about to shoot him. But then the rednecks, they pull out one of those old ancient Gatling guns from the fucking Civil War on it's like a can on the cannon wheels, and they just start mowing down the cartel. And it's just crazy shootout scene, and they all kill each other, and then the kids escape, and then it ends with them. The last panel is them basically on a crossroads. One way goes to El Paso, the other one goes to Juarez. So, and they just sort of sit there. Where do we go? You know, the cartels are after us in Mexico, but this is America. This is a fucked up country. Which way do we go? So, really cool horror, you know, violent horror tale. You know, I give it a 4 out of 5. It was cool. You know.
Okay, so AWA is the name of them.
Yeah, Upshot or whatever. Yeah, AWA Upshot. That's what it.
AWA Upshot. Okay, so pretty cool. All right, so last book I'm gonna do, and I think you said you read this one. Let me blow this one up a little bit. Last book we're gonna do is Teen Titans Annual number 2.
I did read this. Yeah.
Okay, and I know you thinking like, why the fuck are we reviewing Teen Titans Annual number 2 when we've never even done a Teen Titans book on here? Before we get to that, let's go to the callers. Let's see. Holy shit, makes get out.
Yeah,
yes, that's what it is. That's basically what it is. Oh shit. So yes, we review we were going to review Teen Titans Annual number 2. And the reason we decided to review this because according to DC, they're saying that this issue is a game changer. That's what they're saying. So whether it is or not, we will see. Basically, since I haven't been keeping up with Teen Titans, basically what's been going on with Teen Titans is that Robin, Damian Wayne has been wilding the fuck out. He's just been doing all kind of crazy shit. Just turned the Teen Titans like some kind of like hit squad, you know, bullying them around, bossing around and shit like that. But we started to realize that the reason he's doing is because he has his own internal trauma and guilt he's doing because he feels guilty about letting Alfred die. Because Alfred dying is because of him. Yeah. You know, it's all on him. So since he's traumatized and going on with everything right now, he just got the Teen Titans out here just acting crazy. And Batman is like, no, I had enough. This shit is done. This Teen Titan squad you're running with, they're done. They're out of here. You're coming back to the house, you know. But before they can do that, they get interrupted by a bazooka. You know, it blows them up. You know, it doesn't kill anybody, but they're able to get away. Basically, the bazooka was aiming right at Damian, so Damian is barely able to get away before this shit really hits the fan. And who's shooting the bazooka at them? Deathstroke, the guy that they supposedly had killed last issue. He ain't dead. So he's there to make sure that all these fuckers dead, especially Damian Wayne. He wants to go after Damian Wayne more than anybody else. So Damian gets away and he decides to go after him. He gets away, they meet up, and Damian just pulls his sword out on him when they finally meet back up. He's like, Deathstroke, this ain't gonna end the way you think it's gonna end. I'm gonna take your ass out. It's over. You know, pull the sword out. Then the Teen Titans show up and they start fighting. Deathstroke beats the shit out of them easily, like fucks all of them up like it's nothing. But Damian's like, I'm here. I'm going to kill you. This is it. So he's like slashing away at Slade, you know. But hey, Slade got that healing factor, you know, so it's not gonna just kill him, but he's just hacking away at him. Legs, bam, get him in the back. Give him a leg. He's like, I'm trying to chop your head off, anything I can. But then that's when Emiko, Red Arrow, steps in, tries to stop Damian from like finally killing him. Like, we didn't. Then that's the Teen Titans. Teen Titans, like, we didn't come here to save Deathstroke from you. Yeah, we didn't come here to save you from Deathstroke. We came here to save Deathstroke for you. So she blocks the bow. The sword goes through the bow, and he stabs her with the sword in the shoulder. You know, this is Ollie's sister. If you don't know, it's Jeff Lemire creation, whatever like that. So when that shit happens, that's when Batman shows up. He's like, okay, this shit stops now. Damian, you so fucking crazy. You're attacking your own teammates. You know, trying to get Slade. While all this shit going on, Slade dipped. He left. You know, So, and Batman's like, look, this shit is over. You are coming home. And basically Damian's just like, I don't have a home because the home that I have, you let those fuckers Bane and that crazy ass alternate universe Batman invade the house. So you can't even protect the people that you're supposed to save. So I can't go back to the Wayne Manor. That's not my home anymore. And matter of fact, you shouldn't even go back to your home. And Damian is like actually beating this shit out of Batman. Like just giving him the hands, just beating the shit out of her. And Damian's like pissed, like, why won't you fight back? Listen to me. And Batman won't fight him. He will fight him first because the thing is, everything Damian is saying, he agrees with him. Batman does blame himself for letting Bane break into the house, kick him out of his own city, kill Alfred under his own watch, kidnap his own son. Batman blames himself for that. You know, and basically Robin's just like, I can't go back to being Robin. Everything that we've done, because just like you blame yourself, because he blames Batman for letting Alfred die, but he blames himself more. And he's like, I can't be Robin anymore. So he tears the Robin suit off. He tears the Robin emblem off, gives it to Batman. He's like, I can't live in your shadow anymore. I can't be the person I need to be living in your shadow. I have to be my own person. So I was Robin, but not anymore. So he quits the Teen Titans, quits being Batman. Quits being Batman's partner, quit being Robin. That's it. So apparently this is supposed to be a game changer. He's not Robin anymore. I think Tim Drake's supposed to be coming back, and Damian Wayne's gonna get a whole new identity.
He better not be Clown Hunter.
He might be. We already know he's out here killing people. So
he looks a little too short to be Clown Hunter, though.
Yeah, so I doubt he Clown Hunter. I think Tinian's a little bit better writer than that to just do that shit. So, yeah. But I think it's going to be a new status quo for Damian Wayne. He's not going to be Robin anymore. I don't know what he's going to be. We'll see. But
yeah, he should totally go on his own, because he was a spoiled little shit before this, and if he goes on his own, you know,
and that's what Deathstroke told him. He was like, you used to be my favorite Robin because you would take it there, but you've been hanging around Batman so long, you're soft now. You know, and that's why he was able to kick his ass. So he can't go back to being Robin anymore. Honestly, he need to be like a Ra's al Ghul ninja assassin or some shit like that.
Yeah, he should totally just be heard a lot of Damian.
Not Damian Super Songs fans were pissed, but Damian's a little asshole.
Yeah,
I like Damian because he's an asshole.
Yeah.
That's like his best trait, you know?
Yeah. You know, he's a little conceited little shit, you know?
Mm-hmm. He's entitled, you know?
Yeah. So I think this will be cool for him to like get out, like, make his ass move out of Wayne Manor. No more room service and shit.
Right. Stop being entitled little shit, you know, be yourself. He need to go back to being assassin, because another thing he was saying the same shit Jason Todd was saying. Like, it's a revolving door with these Arkham criminals. You don't do shit. You let them keep coming back out, and that's how they keep hurting the people we love. You know, they hurt Batgirl, hurt Jason, hurt Alfred, kill Alfred, whatever. So he like, the shit you're saying, I can't do that anymore. So we don't know what's gonna happen with Damian. I guess we have to see.
Yeah.
You know? So
I enjoyed it. I haven't read Teen Titans in a while. Not since, like, it was a whole. I like who the fuck are these people though? Last time I read it, like Aqualad was on the team and shit.
Like Lobo's daughter is on it and shit. And you know, who's that fat kid? The blue fat kid.
I don't even know who that is. Like,
whose sidekick is that? You know?
Yeah, like where's Starfire and Raven and shit? Like,
they're like, I can't be with this lame ass team. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, because I actually got the is it number 12, the one with the first appearance of Batman Who Laughs? Mm-hmm. I got that Teen Titans. And
honestly, that would be smart for him to take over League of Assassins as the new headed demon, because I think Ra's al Ghul is dead right now, so I can see that. That's almost like the logical solution to me.
Yeah.
Fuck it, just turn him into a villain.
Yeah. Just another vigilante that kills people. Shit. Wild dog, somebody, I don't know.
Yeah, anybody. Shit. Plenty of folks out there. But overall, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Only reason I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 because DC saying this is a game changer is gonna stick, but you know how they are.
Well, there's plenty of Robins.
It's too many Robins.
Yeah, you know, shit. Let Duke do some shit. Like, you know what I mean?
They completely forgot about him.
Like, let Damian go be Damian. Like, he's basically reached that level, reached that point where he can carry on his own shit now. So
he didn't have to be in Batman. He's trying to outlive Batman's shadow, which is what a lot of the other Robins should have did also. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, everyone wanted Damian to become Batman, and
you know,
he's
and it
too
might
fucking,
still happen, you know, down the road or something, you know.
Yeah, he's too fucking psychotic.
Well, that's why he make it off the Batman.
A Batman who kills. Yeah, he'd be a
Right.
Batman who kills
With guns and shit shooting. Oh man. So anything else we gotta do?
I read other shit, but I don't. You know, I don't. No one gives a shit. We're already going on. Oh yeah, look at
Yeah. This is
shout
a
out
long
to everyone
one.
who's still here. You know.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody still listening. Even Batman Beyond has a Robin nowadays. Yeah, that's true also. So yeah, like I said, if you're listening this long, definitely like, share, and subscribe. Definitely get it out. Like I said, we were gonna plan on doing just a Chadwick Boseman podcast and just cut it off from there. But I didn't want to end it like that. Like I said, we try to have fun with this podcast. That's kind of like the whole point, to have fun with, to get our minds off all the bullshit that is going on, all the bullshit of 2020 that's going on. So hopefully you're here, you had a good time, you had fun with it, learned something, whatever like that. And next week we'll come with some other shit. We don't know what's happened, but we'll figure it out from there. Yeah, just enjoy life. Just try to make the most of it. Learn from his lesson, make the most of what's going on. Also have fun with whatever you're doing. Enjoy what you do in life and just have fun with it. That's the message we want to take away from this podcast.
Yeah, I do actually look forward to coming and talking about this shit every week.
Right.
Especially now in this quarantine, I don't get out much. It's just me and my kid here, and I don't really go anywhere but the store.
Yeah, and hopefully people listen to it like this. Like we've been getting the responses, we've been getting views and going and stuff like that. So we're doing something right, I guess.
So thanks y'all for listening. Everybody who sticks around and comments. I look forward to this.
And next week
even when shitty crap happens and tragedy happens, it's still cool to come together and share each other's thoughts and feelings and just get it out and cope.
Right. Because a lot of this stuff you just can't hold in. And that's the problem. Right. A lot of people just hold stuff in they have. You got to just let it loose. If you got stuff on your mind, let it go. Let it loose. Have an outlet. That's
Leroy, real shit 100. I appreciate you keeping it real and sharing your feelings tonight.
Because honestly, I've been bottling up until then. That's why I just had to let it loose, because I can't hold this in this long, because that's unhealthy.
No,
leave it in like that.
Yeah.
So let's see what we got. Thank you 2000 Man Reborn. I'm glad you had fun. We try to have fun on this podcast, and everybody else listening, have fun also. So this thing's going too long. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We'll come back next week with hopefully some completely different shit. But until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
And Yimbambi. Check this out. Yeah.